left off on the reaction here.
So, again, open security questions right now. And this is why, again, I think the Secret Service, the PR, Anthony Guglielmi, has to be very careful about what they put out. You know, he says in his X post, and you can read it yourself, you don't need to hear it from me, that they deployed these extra resources and technology. Okay, well, which ones? You're telling me the best technology you have was deployed and you missed a shooter 130 yards? Say it was 200 yards. The Secret Service CS team, Pete, the counter sniper teams, and I'm not sure those two guys are Secret Service. We have to remember that we don't always, when we go to New York sometimes with high-level protectees, we'll use NYPD ESU counter sniper. So I'm not really sure either way, they'd still be briefed in. The question we have to ask is, if that's the best technology we have, and we had a CS team up there with a shooter that, you know, we're trained out to 1,000 yards in the Secret Service with the counter sniper team, how did they miss someone at most, you know, 1/5 of the way there? It doesn't make any sense. And even worse, it's broad daylight on a white roof. So, again, open questions here. Was there forward-looking infrared deployed? Was there aerial support, drones, helicopters? You know, something happened too. If you go back and listen to the audio, I want you to listen to this after I get off here. When Donald Trump, after this tragic thing happens, you'll see the Secret Service agents. And by the way, I know some of those guys personally. It takes a lot to run into bullets, divorcing the security failure. So at least they did that part, you know, correctly, and they knew what they were doing after the security absolutely failed. But you're going to hear something if you listen closely. The guy mentions Hawkeye on the scene. He's talking about those two, the black BDU with the tactical gear CAT element, that two-man CAT element. That stands for Counter Assault Team. That's a Secret Service Special Weapons Team, equivalent to our SWAT. So they're there. They all deployed and did what had to be. That the bunting around the front of the stage is probably armor. Donald Trump knew to duck. I mean, most people would. He saved his own life. That's just a fact. The evacuation did not go right. I mean, the rule with the Secret Service is cover the protectee and evacuate. The other rule is maximum to the protectee, minimum to the problem. Why minimum to the problem? Because you don't know that's the only problem. It could be a distraction. There could be another person in the crowd. So if you don't jump on the protectee, you could be looking at multiple shooters. So at least that part, the guys there, you know, stepped up there. But the failure here is absolutely catastrophic. And I got to tell you, the Secret Service should be very careful. I can tell you and absolutely confirm from the horse's mouth, from multiple people, not just one. And I saw Congressman Waltz text this out before on X. There have been repeated requests to increase the security footprint around not just the residences of Donald Trump, but the body itself. And they have been rebuffed. Like I said, I can tell you actual quotes. The Secret Service directors completely failed and candidly should resign today. Kim Cheadle has failed Donald Trump and honestly failed Joe Biden, too. He's the president right now. Where's the DHS secretary? I mean, this is, you're blaming it on manpower? So just to be clear, we're a $4 trillion United States government and we can't fork over enough money to keep our people alive? And then you're sending out tweets like, oh, this is the best technology we have. Really? To let a sniper 150 yards away from the potential next president shoot a piece of his ear off? That's your victory lap? Give me a break, man.
Dan, I mean, you bring up so many amazing points, and I just don't even know where to begin except to ask you, why would the Secret Service not beef up more security for the man who is most likely to be assassinated in the entire world? Why would they not deploy more resources? Why weren't there drones over? Is it that this woman, Kimberly Cheadle, the director, is incompetent? Could there be something else there? What is happening? Is it DEI? What's going on?
Well, you know, Rachel, it's my job, if I'm going to give an opinion, to back it up. You know, opinions are like holes, right? Everybody has one. The difference between one opinion over the other in a courtroom and anywhere else is, can you back it up? I want everyone at home, go on your phone or computer now, and I want you to look up U.S. Secret Service, red ties, Donald Trump. Yeah, read it. The Secret Service was more concerned about protective agents around Donald Trump. If you think I'm making this up, go to a left-wing search engine if you think I'm biased. Go to Scroogle and put it, oh, you're reading a story right now. They were more concerned about the color of the Secret Service agents' ties around Donald Trump. given the perception that a red tie was somehow. I've got red ties. I'm a Republican. It's nothing to do with it. I just like red ties. They go nice with white shirts. That's an actual. Oh, you see it right now. I'm not crazy. This is what the Secret Service was concerned about. They put out, 1,000 tweets about all of this DEI stuff. Do I know that's related here? I don't. I'm just saying, like, you have one job and only one job. Your job is keep the body alive, no matter what. Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Jill Biden, the president of Djibouti, it doesn't matter. That is your job. They absolutely, resolutely, 100% failed. Not a single excuse should be made. Not a single excuse should be attempted. This should be the subject of congressional hearings and investigations, because if they can't do this, and this is the best technology you had, then, folks, there's no purpose anymore. This isn't the agency I grew up in. It's not. I spent 12 years of my life there, and I'm telling you, I know some of those guys personally. These are good men and women. But this was an apocalyptic security failure. And don't ever forget, an uneventful failure is never a success. And the fact that Donald Trump didn't die yesterday is no reason for anybody to take some kind of victory lap. And before we start sending out plaudits, we better look and do a hot wash on this and find out exactly how abysmal this security plan was.
Well, uniquely, because you also have unique experience, uniquely, you've been able to tell us today that the failure is on both the ground level and the immediate reaction, the advanced level, and seeing what could potentially be the problem, and at the organizational level in what kind of resources were given to Donald Trump over time. And as we said, you have the experience to know. Dan Bongino, thanks so much for.
We got a problem. The U.S. Secret Service is being infested with DEI agents. And you know what that means. You've seen some of the photos. These people, did they skip over hulking Marines who are expert marksmen for these little females who don't know a damn thing, can't even holster a pistol? That's where we are, folks. This is attempt one. Don't put this past them. There could be more. You heard what they said. They don't want to give Trump extra security. Interesting, huh? Stay tuned for the next.